This video we're going to do a quick market update on some of the pairs that I am keeping an eye on for the next few days to the next couple weeks. All of these need some more development, but they're all at some interesting levels where could present some trades just depending on how they react to the levels. So I'm going to just go through these real quick and show you what I'm looking at. This is Australian dollar, US dollar. Here is the daily chart, the monthly chart, and the weekly chart. And all the pairs I'm going to show you, I am going to look through these three time frames. I'm not going to drill down to the lower time frames. So this first one, Australian dollar, US dollar, you can see on the daily, we are in a little bit of a range here and just waiting to see what it does at this level. Is it going to continue in this range? Is it going to pop out and retest it? Here was a failed break right here. The weekly is forming higher high, higher low. And so this daily, just really waiting to see what it does. It looked like it was going to come down and retest this 50 MA or come on down to this range, and it's popped back up. So just waiting on the lower time frames to see where the edge is going to play, either to the downside or a breakout and retest. The next two are also Australian pairs and pretty much the same outlook as Australian dollar, US dollar. Same thing, they're in these ranges and just waiting to see what they're going to do. It looked like they were going to continue in this range, and now they're popped back up a little bit. So again, on this one, Australian dollar, Swiss, watching the lower time frames to see if the trend is going to go down and continue in this range, or if we're going to break out and retest this level, which has been respected pretty well historically. So Australian dollar, yen, same thing. This one has a little bit more of a pattern. There could be a head and shoulder pattern here with the left shoulder, head, and then right shoulder. But if you were going to play that, it looks like you would have already lost your opportunity unless it's going to come back up. But again, still at a good level, just like the first two. This level has been respected very well. So I am looking to continue to play this range, or just like the other two, a breakout and retest and see what that looks like. So moving on, those are the Australian pairs I'm just keeping an eye out on. This is Swiss yen, and it has been forming pretty decent little triangle here, not much on the monthly. Sorry, my OCD is getting the best of me right now, trying to get these. Okay. Been forming this triangle on the daily. This definitely needs some more time to develop, but as you can see, the price is getting squeezed in this triangle, and I'm expecting it to continue in this triangle as it continues to get squeezed, and then either a break and retest of either this trend line, break, retest, take it long, or a breakdown short, so break, retest, and take it short. So just a good pattern, and something that is worth keeping an eye out on. Next pair is euro dollar. This pair if y'all have seen my other videos, I was really wanting to take this short down to this level. Once it broke this 50 EMA and came back up and retested a minor level that was up here at about 1.74, 1.174 to 1.175. But as you can see, that failed. I did take a short here, and it has started to have some support here at around 1.164, and it's starting to form this range, and looks a lot like the Australian pairs I showed you, except this level has not been respected as much in recent history. But just waiting to see what this does. Is it going to stay in this range, or is it going to break out of it? Next pair, pound US dollar, much like the other pairs that are at a decent level and has room to continue in the range for some good risk reward if it were to come back down and retest the bottom of this range that it's been in, and also some decent room if it were to break out and retest. There could also be a level a little higher, just depending on how you draw your lines in. So this could possibly not be at the top of the range yet, but there is some good resistance up here in this area. So just waiting to see what these do. They all need more development, and ranges are not my favorite pattern to play. I'd much rather see a breakout and retest and a a higher high, higher low to more like a continuation pattern out of this. But these are decent levels, so that's why I am keeping an eye out on all of the pairs that are being rangy right now. Next pair, pound Swiss. This one is a much, well, it's like the other ones. There is a range still, just like the other ones. I just don't have a line in down here. And it is a very strong support level here around 1.217, 1.215. But much like the other ranges, it has come up and retested it and did react to it, and now it's coming back up. So I love the level. I love the range. I just don't, it just needs more development for me to be more interested in it. But again, this looks a lot like all the other ranges that are being formed right now. Next pair, pound New Zealand dollar. This is kind of opposite of the first 2 pounds I showed you, because this is at the bottom of support and resistance, not at the top like the other pairs, but forming a decent triangle here, just like the Swiss yen pair I showed you. So again, on this, what I want to see is it to continue to get squeezed and then pop out and retest for a long, or break and retest for a short. Last pair is New Zealand dollar, US dollar, and this one is probably my favorite of all the pairs that I've showed you, because it's not necessarily stuck in a range or stuck in a pattern where you need to wait for it to break and retest. This has actually been trending up for quite some time and is overextended, and it's at a decent level here, a decent line of 1.695-ish. And if you look at the monthly and the weekly, it's definitely starting a new uptrend. I don't know if y'all remember, but there was a very long historical monthly trend line that had been in here for quite some time. It was roughly in that area. I think I actually drew it in here from down there, somewhere in there, and it is now trending well above that. So also there's so many different ways to draw trend lines. So regardless of which way you would draw it in, it is broken it and could come back and retest this level. I'm going to delete this trend line. Oops. So could come back and retest this level. So because it's overextended and reaching this, it's a good opportunity for a short play right now, just depending on how well it decelerates and shows us a nice trend change on the lower time frames, the 4-hour, 1-hour chart. So this is probably my favorite one right now on watch. But that was just a quick, actually it probably wasn't that quick. It was not as quick as I wanted to, but those are kind of the pairs that I'm keeping my eye out on. They all need more development, but there's some pairs that are at some good levels right now to act as support or resistance to trade off of. So I hope this video helps you all see kind of what I'm looking at in the market and how I keep an eye out on what's developing. I don't even know if I'm going to get to enter a trade on any of these pairs, but you constantly need to know what you're looking for and how you want price to react in order to place a trade. Like on some of those ranges, I want it to either break out of the range and retest it, which would be my preference for a trade out of the range. But anyways, if y'all have anything you're looking at in the markets right now and have a question or want me to look at it, I'd be happy to. Just put a comment down below and I would be happy to help.